Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel for another weekly ALDI haul. This week is a little bit larger, partly because I was shopping again for my partner's mother. I have quite a few recipes I want to try making this week. And lastly, I was out of some of our staples. So let's get started on this fairly large haul for us. First of all, we have here a black Angus chuck roast. Yum, yum, yum. So last week we made the steak that I bought in the sous vide, and it came out delicious. It was so good. It cooked perfectly. It was medium well. We set it, I think at 150 for 3 hours, and it was still juicy, but it wasn't red because we're not fans of red meat. So and you just finish off with a little bit of sear, lock in the flavor. It was so good. So because it makes it so tender, we decided we're going to try a roast this week because it's a little bit cheaper cut of meat instead of the $10 steaks. It's about half the price. So we're going to try a roast this week. It'll take a little longer because it's such a thick cut of meat, but it'll probably come out just as good and moist. And this recipe I found will create a lot of its own gravy, and then you just add a little bit extra to it on the stovetop, and then you have this really nice thick gravy. Okay, so we can't just have meat for dinner. We need a side. So I was thinking of making some roasted root vegetables in the oven. So we have here a butternut squash. I have never tried cooking with a butternut squash. I've used spaghetti squash before, but the recipe I found made it look pretty easy. So we're going to have some butternut squash. I have here a bag of these little tiny sweet potatoes, and I also have some leftover carrots. So I'm going to roast those in the oven with some olive oil, butter, salt, and pepper, and it should come out pretty good. And like I said, we're going to have a lot of gravy that's going to be created from this chuck roast. So we put the gravy over the root vegetables. I think it'll be perfect combination. Okay, then back here I have some cilantro. I forget which dish exactly needed this as a topping, but cilantro you can put on top of anything. You can add it to your salsa that you're having with your chips if you like. Okay, then I have here some green onions. That is going to be for my Japanese fried rice, of which I have other ingredients for, of course. Then I have here some Roma tomatoes. This is for my sweet and sour chicken I'm going to make. And let's see. Oh, here we have some celery. Now this actually is for my partner's mother. That was on her grocery list. Between us and his sister, she gets all her shopping done. She does not have to leave the house, although I know she wants to leave. Okay, then we have here some zucchini. Last week I couldn't find the green zucchini, could only find yellow squash. We love making zoodles and just having it as a substitute instead of eating pasta all the time. The thing is, one of the yellow squash I got was fairly fat, and as we were making it into zoodles, we ran into a whole bunch of seeds. And so since they had the green ones, and I know that these don't have seeds, we opted for just a standard old zucchini this week. Then we have here our sweet peppers. We have orange, red, and yellow. These are versatile, whether I put it in our sandwiches, if I scramble up some eggs, and it's also going to be in our sweet and sour chicken. The recipe calls for tomatoes or peppers, so I think I'm going to do both peppers and tomatoes. Half the amount, of course, of each. Okay, then we have here some red seedless grapes. Now these were on sale for 89 cents, so even cheaper than usual. I skipped over the grapes last week. I bought some Honeycrisp apples, and they were really very good. But since these are on 89 cents, it's a deal I could not pass up. Okay. Back here, my usual flat leaf spinach. That is, of course, for my smoothies and for our sandwiches, but it's also versatile. I've been freezing about half the bag, which works out really well because I use the frozen spinach for whether I'm cooking, like throwing it in some eggs or something, or in my smoothie. And then we use the rest of the fresh spinach for the sandwiches, and then we don't feel like we're wasting half a bag when they start to get slimy by the end of the week. So that's what I have there. Then I have here my frozen berry medley, also for my smoothies. I still have some fruit left over in the freezer, but it's always good, in my opinion, to have a backup in case I run out. Then I have here my usual non-fat Greek yogurt. This, of course, is also for my smoothies, but I'm also going to make chicken tikka masala. And that recipe calls for either sour cream or, if you want to be a little healthier, Greek yogurt. So we're going with the Greek yogurt since I buy it anyways for my smoothies, and we are trying to watch what we eat. Back here I have, yummy, some frozen medium raw shrimp. Now that is also for the Japanese fried rice we're going to have this week. And then we have here yellow onions. I use onions in practically everything I cook, so I buy that every couple weeks when I run low. Here we have Sweet Harvest pineapple chunks. Now these chunks I'm going to also use for the sweet and sour chicken. It goes in the sauce because you take the chicken, you bread it up with some potato starch, or you dredge it in the potato starch, you air fry it, and then meanwhile you make a sauce with the tomatoes, the peppers, the pineapple chunks, and yes, ketchup. You put all that, and once you get a nice thick sauce and you get the chicken that's nice and crispy, you toss it in there and you serve it over some rice, and dinner is ready. All right, then we have here some Deli sliced buffalo style chicken breast and Genoa salami. This, of course, are for our sandwiches this week. We do have leftover cold cuts. I didn't feel that I needed to buy a whole pound of chicken in addition to salami. So I thought 2 8-ounces is 1 pound total. That'll last us more than enough. Then we have here the usual Love and Fresh center split deli rolls that my partner just loves for his sandwiches. So that's what he has this week. And then we have here some Friendly Farms non-fat Greek yogurt with fruit on the bottom. This week I just bought 1 peach and 2 blueberries. I have some strawberries left over from last week, so that'll be plenty for this week to take in with our lunches. All right, then I have here some Countryside Creamery Sweet Cream Unsalted Butter. Now, I love this unsalted butter. I use it for cooking a lot, and I also like to use it in baking, like when I made my cheesecake the other week. So I was down to 2 sticks. So I thought, time for a new box of unsalted butter. Oh, and next to here we have Countryside Creamery Home Style Spread. Now this is also for my partner's mother. She asked for margarine, but I don't think she actually meant margarine, the hard stuff. So I asked him, and he said something that she likes to spread on her toast. So got a big tub. This should last her for a bit. And of course she also wanted her usual whole gallon of whole milk. Right, then we have here some specially selected non-flatbread. We have 4 slices in here. Now I see this picture says here you can make grilled chicken and cheese pizza. That looks good. But what this is for this week is for the chicken tikka masala, because you can dip this bread in the nice sauce you're gonna get. So we'll probably serve it over rice, but I think some naan, is perfect for the Indian food. Okay, so more for the chicken tikka masala. I have some tomato sauce, and then I have some crushed tomatoes, and it's 28 ounces. They didn't have a smaller can, and the recipe doesn't call for 28 ounces, so I'll probably just use half and then freeze the other half. And then the coconut milk, which is also for the chicken tikka masala. Okay, then back here I've got 3 dozen golden hen eggs. Now this is going to be shared between us and my partner's mother. I was going to buy 4, but there is a limit of 3, so I figure we'll probably give her two and keep one for ourselves since we can run out to the grocery store if we need. Then I have here Chef's Cupboard Chunky Chicken Noodle because, now that the weather's turning a little cooler because it's fall, I like to have soup in the pantry, for those quick lunches that you want, something warm, or, God forbid, if you start feeling sick and you need to have some soup, some chunky chicken noodle will fit the bill. Back here, I also have, some roasted pistachios, unsalted. This, of course, is for my partner for him to snack on. Then I have here some stone mill oregano leaves. When I was making my chicken oreganata this week, I used up the last of my oregano. So I decided I should just buy one because oregano comes very much in handy for a lot of dishes. Then back here is just Berman's tomato ketchup. As I mentioned in the sweet and sour chicken, it does call for ketchup, but also we use ketchup for a lot of other things, whether it's, with some air fried French fries or with your eggs. And we were down to less than half a bottle, so I decided we needed a spare backup bottle. Okay, then I have here a 12-pack of the Summit Cola. This, of course, is for my partner. He specifically said no citrus twist because he was tired of the citrus flavor. So since he just finished a Dr. Dazzle yesterday, he's got a cola. And in case he runs out of something sweet to drink, he's got some Hawaiian Punch. It's a whole gallon of the fruit juicy red flavor. That's not his first choice, but it does come in handy if he runs out of soda for some reason. And last but not least, it's my ALDI find. As you can see, it's an oversized grill pan. If I'm not mistaken, it is 21 by 15 inches. Yep, that's what it says, 21 by 15. And I checked it when I came home against the big grill pan that we keep in our oven. This is definitely bigger. Now this is perfect because when we cook in the Instant Pot, either, chicken legs, drumsticks, wings, or even ribs, sometimes we like to put the sauce on it and finish it up in the oven. Especially if it's a lot. If it's just a few wings or something, it's perfect to put in the air fryer. But when you're talking, 2 racks of ribs, it'll take forever in the air fryer. So we just broil it for 5 minutes in the oven. But oftentimes, even with our bigger grill pan, we tend to run out of space, and then we start pulling out little cookie sheets and everything. So I thought this will be perfect because between this grill pan and the large but not quite as big one that we have in the oven, that should fit everything. If we cook 2 racks of ribs, plenty of room to spare. So that is my impulse ALDI find this week. So this is my whole haul. As you can tell, it's a little bit bigger than usual, and between the shrimp and the roast, it drove up the price just a little bit. But we'll see. We'll have quite a bit of recipes this week to try out. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. I hope you subscribe. And everybody have a great week and stay safe. Thanks. I'll see you next week. Bye.